If you follow me across my Instagram, SoundCloud, Mixcloud and Facebook pages, you would know that I'm a classically trained instrumentalist and I have attended conservatoires and London-based academies where I have learnt advanced music performance on the violin. If you have a look on mixcloud.com/she's called Envy and soundcloud.com/she's called Envy, you would know that I'm a drum and bass and party DJ. You can have a look at my mixtapes on those two platforms. I also have a blogging website at www.shescalledenvy.co.uk. So let's have a look at the minimum requirements which would be available for an overseas candidate to be eligible for a skilled worker visa. And as you can see here, there is a list of different criteria. So one of which being that the candidate themselves is eligible for a UK-based visa where they're going to be employed by a UK business, and also they would need to meet a minimum salary threshold. And for a skilled worker visa, this minimum salary is $38,700 per annum. So there are different salary rules if somebody wanted to work in the healthcare sector, and with this there are different rules where the minimum salary can be as low as $23,200 per year. There's some further information here, and this is a list of eligible roles based in the healthcare sector which an overseas candidate would be considered for. So this will be for a skilled worker visa, or it would be for a subtype of the skilled worker visa, which is a health and care worker visa. So which job roles are being offered to overseas candidates in the NHS who require a skilled worker visa, I hear you ask. So in the NHS, there is a list of different job roles, and they could be found on the government website. And to be eligible, the job must be on a list of approved occupations and meet a specific salary threshold. So the common NHS job roles are medical practitioners or doctors, which include GPs, specialists and consultants. Nursing roles which are based across different specialities, including oncology, emergency nursing, paediatric, etc. Allied health professionals, healthcare specialists, midwifery, paediatrics, senior care workers. So in general, the application process for overseas candidates include the job search. So for a particular job role within the NHS, a certificate of sponsorship which is being offered by the employer, and then you have the visa application also. In my HR role of employment, when I was based in the HR department at OUH, I was based in the team that dealt with hiring of individuals either domestically or from abroad for particular roles, which included persistent hard to fill roles, roles which were listed on the occupational shortage list, including band 5 clinical nurse posts. It's well known, especially from mid-2024 onwards, the NHS in England and Wales continue to face significant nursing shortages, and in the first quarter of 2023 there were over 43,000 nursing vacancies within the NHS, and in June 2024 in NHS Wales there was approximately 1,778 full-time job roles in nursing, midwifery and healthcare positions, which is a 3.3 percentage point decrease compared to the same time in the previous year. OUH, Oxford University Hospitals, partners with Oxford University and is renowned for its excellence in healthcare service teaching and research. Within the trust there are both clinical and non-clinical job opportunities, including the business offering apprenticeships and work experience. It has been the global lead in research and education, and as a leading teaching trust, OUH collaborates with the University of Oxford, collaborating significantly to medical research and the education of healthcare professionals. So for instance, Oxford University Hospitals has worked in partnership with the Jenner Institute to collaborate in order to develop and launch the Oxford AstraZeneca vaccine during the UK lockdown. And in just a few months after the pandemic was announced, the first clinical trials was launched. And this was something that was previously unheard of. And in just a few months after the pandemic was announced, the vaccine was developed in record time, and the first human clinical trials was announced in April 2020. So here is an example job description as well as person specification, basically outlining the type of person they're looking for, like a senior clinical nurse or a clinical nurse working in a hospital environment, All of this information can be found on various job boards and various internal and external clinical websites. In my role of employment, my responsibility would be to draft all of the information and include all of the details needed to know exactly what the responsibilities are, where they're going to be based, and what is expected from them. So I do think when people do complain about their jobs being taken by overseas candidates, this is something which I think is a bit of a weak and a tenuous kind of link, thinking that immigration is associated with limited job opportunities, and also thinking that the reason why they are unable to get a role of employment is because it's being given to an overseas immigrant. These are quite technical, quite specific, quite knowledge-based industries that they're going to be entering, and therefore they would need the years of education, kind of training, and the kind of professional kind of practice in order for them to be considered for a job role like this.